Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Picture this. A man walks into a train station in Alpine, Texas, carrying what appears to be an ordinary knapsack. But inside that weathered bag lies a fortune in gold nuggets, enough to change his life forever. Within hours, he'll board a train to San Antonio, convert his treasure to cash, and disappear into anonymity. This isn't fiction. This is 1930, and this mysterious figure has just accomplished what countless treasure hunters have failed to do for nearly a century since. But here's where the story gets deadly. 7 years later, that same man would be lying in a San Antonio street, bleeding from a gunshot wound, the victim of criminals who wanted his secret so badly they were willing to kill for it. Welcome to the legend of the Lost Haystack Treasure, one of the most captivating and dangerous treasure stories in American history. Deep in the rugged canyons northwest of Alpine, Texas, lies what may be the richest gold cache ever discovered in the American Southwest. For nearly 100 years, this fortune has remained hidden, protected by violence, mystery, and the unforgiving landscape of West Texas. Mr. Johns was an unforgettable figure in early 20th century Texas. Standing well over 6 feet tall but weighing less than 100 pounds, his almost comically thin frame made him instantly recognizable. But there was nothing comical about his reputation as one of the most skilled sheep herders in West Texas, working successfully for multiple ranchers over 30 years. Johns was a Seminole Negro descendant whose ancestors had escaped the brutal Trail of Tears in the 1830s, fleeing to establish communities in Mexico's harsh deserts. When West Texas opened up, many descendants like Johns migrated north, seeking opportunity in the expanding ranch country. Living in a modest shack between Alpine and Haystack Mountain, Johns had raised several children who worked for area ranchers. But among his grandchildren, one stood out: young Jim Johns. From the time the boy could barely walk, he followed his grandfather everywhere, learning sheep herding and developing intimate knowledge of Haystack Mountain through their regular hunting expeditions. The discovery came on what seemed like an ordinary rainy day. Mr. Johns was searching for stray sheep in the canyon country near Haystack Mountain when weather took a violent turn. Caught in a dangerous storm while riding through a narrow canyon, he sought immediate shelter. Dismounting and securing his horse, John spotted a narrow crack in the canyon wall, barely wide enough for entry. But his extraordinarily thin frame allowed him to squeeze through the opening, initially seeking nothing more than protection from the elements. What he discovered inside changed everything. The crack led to a narrow shaft extending about 10 yards into the mountain before opening into a small chamber roughly 6 feet square. Stacked along one wall were numerous leather sacks, covered in thick dust that spoke of decades of abandonment. Using his pocket knife, Johns cut open one container. Gold nuggets spilled onto the cavern floor, handfuls representing more wealth than a poor sheep herder could imagine. Johns faced a dilemma that revealed both wisdom and understanding of dangerous social realities. Despite his excitement, he recognized his perilous position as a poor, mixed-race sheep herder in early 20th century Texas. Appearing in Alpine with gold would almost certainly bring theft accusations. His word would carry little weight. Perhaps more profoundly, Johns viewed the treasure through his cultural heritage. To him, this was metal so highly coveted by white men, something holding little intrinsic value in his traditional worldview. The gold represented danger more than opportunity. So he made a remarkable decision. He left the entire cache exactly where he found it. When the storm passed, Johns retrieved his horse and returned home, telling no one about his extraordinary discovery. The secret remained locked away for years. As Johns aged and his health declined, the weight of his secret grew heavier. Confined to his bed and approaching death, he finally decided to pass on his knowledge. He called his favorite grandson, Jim Johns, now a young man, to his bedside. With great difficulty, the dying man told Jim about the gold cache hidden in the small cave near Haystack Mountain. But age, illness, and years had taken their toll. The directions he provided were frustratingly vague, offering Jim only the barest outline of where to search. Jim Johns spent 5 grueling years systematically searching the canyon systems around Haystack Mountain. The task was enormous. The area contained countless canyons with numerous potential hiding spots. Armed with only his grandfather's dimmed memories and childhood familiarity with the terrain, Jim methodically explored every possibility. The search demanded everything. He hiked treacherous terrain, crawled through narrow openings, and endured countless disappointments. But his grandfather's deathbed revelation had planted unshakable belief that the treasure was real and findable. Finally, in a moment that must have felt miraculous, Jim discovered the hidden entrance. The cave was exactly as described, a narrow crack leading to a small chamber filled with leather sacks of gold nuggets. Jim's first harvest was conservative but life-changing. He filled his knapsack with nuggets, walked to Alpine train station, and bought a ticket to San Antonio. There, he successfully converted gold into cash, beginning a new chapter. Unlike his grandfather, Jim saw opportunity where the older man had seen danger. He permanently relocated to San Antonio, abandoning rural roots for city life. But he maintained connection to the treasure, developing a sustainable exploitation system. Whenever funds ran low, Jim would return to West Texas by train, walk several miles from Alpine to Haystack Mountain, refill his knapsack, and return to urban life. This pattern continued throughout the 1930s, making Jim a regular, well-known figure along the Alpine to Mountain route. Jim's success came with a critical flaw: visibility. He made no attempt to hide activities, regularly visiting Alpine friends and freely showing off handfuls of gold nuggets. These displays eliminated doubt about the treasure's reality, but attracted dangerous attention. In 1937, a group of men approached Jim in San Antonio with what seemed like a business proposition. They wanted to pay him for treasure location information. Jim politely refused. The criminals weren't accustomed to hearing no. Several days later, they returned with the same offer and received the same refusal. This time, their reaction was violent. The negotiation escalated to an argument, and the argument ended with Jim Johns lying in the street with a bullet in his stomach. Jim survived the assassination attempt, but the attack fundamentally changed his relationship with the treasure. Fear of being followed or targeted again was too great. He never returned to Haystack Mountain, effectively cutting himself off from his wealth source. The psychological impact, combined with stress of living in fear, may have contributed to declining health. Approximately 1 year after recovering from his gunshot wound, Jim Johns died of a heart ailment, taking the precise treasure location to his grave. The gold cache's origin remains intriguing. Some historians suggest the treasure might date to the 16th century, possibly hidden by Spanish explorer Coronado during Southwest expeditions. Spanish expeditions regularly cached supplies and valuables in remote locations. Alternatively, the gold might represent outlaw loot from dangerous stagecoach routes connecting El Paso to San Antonio. Haystack Mountain's remote location would have provided ideal concealment for stolen wealth. Today, nearly a century after the treasure first gained public attention, the search continues. Alpine residents, local ranchers, and professional treasure hunters have all attempted to locate the elusive cave entrance. The challenge is enormous. Haystack Mountain contains countless canyon systems, and the specific crack leading to treasure remains virtually invisible. The Lost Haystack treasure story represents more than treasure hunting. It's a window into complex social, racial, and economic dynamics of early 20th century Texas. Mr. John's decision to leave gold untouched reflects both wisdom and tragedy, while Jim John's exploitation and victimization illustrate the dangerous intersection of wealth and violence in frontier experience. Somewhere in rugged canyons northwest of Alpine, leather sacks filled with gold nuggets still wait in their hidden chamber. The fortune that cost Jim Johns his peace and possibly his life remains as elusive as ever, a testament to enduring power of secrets in unforgiving West Texas landscape. Join my Patreon community and discover my art print products on my website in the links provided in my description and link above. Also, if you would like a particular image from my videos, give the timestamp for image, and I will upload it to my website and Patreon. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest Gold story. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold stories, and adult bedtime stories. If you like a certain image from my videos, tell me in comments and give timestamp. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.